And hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I am Crazy Crafter and back in Primal Magic once more. Are you the same trainer? Okay, yeah, you are. I ended up coming to, while I was editing, I ended up coming to a bit of a decision. A, or I guess two. A, I am definitely, he, I'm, hold on. I didn't think of how I was going to do this. Alright, okay, yeah. I'm go. First off, I have way too many things that I want to do. I do them all. I try to do them all at the same time, and I end up forgetting about half of them. Well, I've come up with a solution. Hold on. And that is, as you are hopefully seeing, if I edit it correctly in the top right of the screen, my to-do list, which you can see also on it. There's a few things. I don't think I'm going to be getting to all of them today. I mean, ideally I can, but I'm not expecting it. But I think, yeah, we are also the main thing. Oh yeah, let me go ahead and actually, while I'm talking, go ahead and do the first one on that list. Yeah, the main thing is that bamboo expedition for the theory crafting. We're going on the trip. I spent last episode getting ready for it. The time is now. So let me see if I even can rename the colony. Hopefully, yeah, I can. Let's see, yes, I can. There we go. The Wizards of the West. Not really a big distinction, but still a distinction. Yeah. I'm going to empty out my inventory, and then we're going on this mission. Which probably, again, a good portion of it's going to be sped through. So I decided I'm going to actually try to have a timer for it. If the timer goes off mid-expedition, then I'll figure out what I'm going to do, but it should be fine. Let's see. Yeah, I don't need that. Don't need the soap. You know, I'll bring the sword. I don't need the salts. Let's see. Yeah, don't need these either. Let's see. Yeah, this should be fine. And yep, bamboo jungle. Off we go. You know what? Let me check something out real quick. Compass. Okay, it just takes a book. I'm gonna go ahead and make an antique atlas. See, I've got right here. I can make a quick crafting table. Gonna need a piece of leather, but I mean, I'm sure I'll find a cow on the way. Yeah, this will essentially allow me to record anything of interest that yeah, cow right there. Anything of interest that I locate on the way, I can have a reliable path back to it. There's also just mapping out a trip like this is usually a good idea. I actually don't need this. There we go. Leather for one book. Empty antique atlas. Here we go. Oh, and yeah, there's a shrine right over there. Which reminds me, I forgot to fill up on earth magic. Let's see if this one is an earth shrine. Oh, there's a village. Oh, it's a sea shrine. Excellent. I don't really have anything that uses sea mana right now, but I mean, it doesn't hurt to fill up. Oh, this is... Okay, yeah, I know where I am. I know right over there is an earth shrine. There's also one right over there too, but this one's closer to on the path. You know, I completely forgot there were 2 more villages down this way. Oh, this one's a moon shrine. Nice. Alright. Definitely gonna have to mark this one down. I should have marked down the earth shrine that I picked up at, but that's fine. I run all that at 20x speed, and the whole thing will look like, or we'll just take a single minute for you guys, and we'll have a slightly shorter episode, or significantly shorter. So considering I'm gonna have to make the trek back, I'm probably gonna set a 30-minute timer after this one's up. Oh, I am out of Earth mana. Well, I guess that adventure's been cut a little short. Or that mining's been cut a little short. Let's head over here. See if I can spot a quick waystone. Oh, there's a ruined portal. If I had any more Earth mana, I'd pick up the obsidian from that. Probably still gonna go loot it anyways. So just to explain what that is, you know that barbarian stronghold we know of? Yeah, that's a camp. It's got like 5 spawners. So and it I'm assuming a similar amount of loot by the chest amount, but it's also a bit smaller. Probably gonna leave it just. I'll take note right here. Earth Shrine guarded by barbarians. Okay, guarded by barbs. Shrine. But the village does have a waystone. There's also an Enderman who for the Tom Simple storage goal I've got. Oh, there's also a barbarian camp right by this village. Okay. Yeah, as I was saying, I'm gonna end up needing Ender Pearls for the Tom Simple storage objective, but I'm not going to worry about it. Like now is when I would start worrying about it, since I am back home. But while I was on the trip, I wasn't gonna worry. Alright. Yeah, now that that trip is over, and I've got what I need, let's go ahead and empty out inventory space again. So yeah, I don't really have too much that can go in chests. So put this away. Alright, yeah, I'll make some more chests later. But first, I now have both of these complete projects. Now that that's done, we'll go ahead and I've got it, might as well do that. I'll put some jungle saplings down. I'll put a single mangrove tree right over here. Don't plan on harvesting any of that anytime soon, but doesn't hurt to have. We'll go ahead to spruce wood. One chest. See. Sea, moon, and sky dust. Sea dust, sky dust, moon dust. Trade leather, coal, and beetroot. I saw beetroot on in the way back. I thought about picking it up, but I didn't. Luckily, I don't have to have all of it. I just like to. But yeah, we'll go in enchanted calcinator. Using enchanted marble to better contain the calcination reaction, as well as to allow stoking a hotter flame, I've created a calcinator capable of producing whole essence shards, and faster to boot. To yield a shard, an item must have at least 20 points of affinity for a given source. At that threshold, one shard will be produced for every 20 affinity points. If an item does not meet that threshold, then the dust will be produced with a lower tier calcinator. It is worth noting that an enchanted calcinator will never produce both shards and dust in a single reaction for a single source. Should an item have 39 points of affinity, I'll get a single shard. The remaining 19 points will be wasted. Like a lower tier calcinator, this also requires some configuration. Easy enough to do as part of placing the block, but it still means that another mage's calcinator won't necessarily produce the same results as one of my own. Basically, same as before. We need the basic, 3 shards, and enchanted marble, which I can take some earth dust and make the 3 shards. I can grab the basic one right here. We'll go ahead and make those shards. And now all I need is enchanted marble. I also need to fill up on some more sun essence. Go and do that. See. Calcite. No quartz. And I think I might be out of quartz. It's okay, I believe I remember I believe I remember some being down there. And you're still the same guy. Let's make that upgraded calcinator. Oh, right. We need enchanted marble. Put it here. Put you there. There we go. One enchanted calcinator. I'm gonna put the enchanted marble here for now. There we go. So, let's see. I don't really have anything right now that has an excess of sea essence. That's fine. Let's check. I never completed theory crafting. Well, I'll go ahead and do that. I formed my first theory. This will definitely prove useful later in my studies. I should expect research projects to become more difficult as I exhaust the low-hanging fruit. They'll probably have lower starting success chances and require more research materials the more projects I complete. This will only make bonus projects unlocked by research aids more economical. So I should definitely try to identify as many of them as I can. Remember self, the research table only detects blocks within 5 blocks of itself. Try an analysis table as a starting research aid. Another useful application of my new ink is that I can use it to create writable books using only a small amount of material. This may come in handy should my inner poet resurface. And yeah, now let's also go ahead. Why not? Let's grab attunements. Fascinating. From what I can tell, the study and use of magic brings a person more into alignment with that source of magic, body and mind. This results in the development of incredible new abilities on the part of the attuned mage. Learning a new spell or recipe in my grimoire will sometimes permanently increase my attunement to the relevant source. I'll be sure to note in the grimoire when this happens. In addition, channeling my mana, whether by crafting a recipe or casting a spell, will temporarily increase my attunement to that source. The effect can be significant, but it will slowly decay over time. I've cast a simple spell on my grimoire to track my current attunement levels. Should I ever wish to check them, or remind myself of what attunement to a particular source will gain me, I need only check the attunement section under other topics in the main index. And then there's also terrestrial magic. As I've mentioned before, the 5 sources of magic are the earth, the sea, the sky, the sun, and the moon. Almost everything I've found has some affinity to one or more of them, but what exactly are they really? What makes them magical? This is probably more philosophy than magic, and I'm unlikely to learn any recipes or spells by meditating on them, but I have faith that it will be beneficial to me. If nothing else, I'm sure I'll feel more in tune with the sources once I understand them better. Yeah, that as attunement shackles. I've been thinking about attunement a lot lately. Now, let me go inside the tower. The idea that practicing magic will change me is intriguing. Being able to run faster or breathe underwater just by being a practicing mage sounds really cool. It's also a little scary though. What if I don't like the changes after all? Will I still be me after they take hold? I should see if I can research a way to suppress these changes, just in case. Nah, it's fine. Not worth the theory. Okay, we also have sources, and right over here, Introduction to Ritual Magic. Missing Rune Project in Rune Working. Okay. Yeah, we'll go and available the Earth. Through sacrifice, study, and exploration, I investigate the secrets of Earth magic. I gotta visit the dark depths of the Earth, have a diamond and obsidian, as well as spend 100 Earth mana. Easy. And found an Earth Shrine. Source, the Moon. Through sacrifice, study, and exploration, I investigate the secrets of moon magic. I have to have a moon shrine, spend 100. I think I've spent 100 of everything at this point. Observation, moonwood, and mushroom. And witness the moonlight filtered through the forest trees. I think essentially that means I gotta be underneath a tree in a forest biome. When a full moon happens or something. I don't know. Source, the sea. Through sacrifice, study, and exploration, I investigate the secrets of sea magic. I'm not sure why I don't have this one. I was just in an ocean. That's alright. Source, the sky. Through sacrifice, study, and exploration, I investigate the secrets of sky magic. Travel to the peak of the world. I mean, eventually my tower will be the peak of the world. And source, the sun. Through sacrifice, study... Okay, yeah. Sunshine's found. The only one I don't have a location for yet. Feel the scorching rays of the desert sun. and then sand and sunwood. Yeah. If we go over here, let's go ahead and rune project. Complete. To energize or bring about. This rune's meaning can be interpreted a number of ways, but those are the most common. When I want to take something and cast it outward, I want to project rune. Yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about rune working. I'm not too worried about. I was mostly doing that for ritual magic, because this is a pathway to greater things. There seem to be limits to the kind of power that can be exercised in magical crafting or sorcery. But I didn't start studying magic because I was interested in limits. Perhaps there's a process I can use to surpass them. That means I need an observation. And you guys know what an observation means. It means I sleep. Oh, I never put the wand back in to finish charging with sun mana. But that gives me enough observations for this. My efforts have unveiled a new discipline of magical study, ritual magic. By going through a series of steps, a sort of simulation of a magical journey, and offering up various items in the process, I can manifest creations that would be impossible using traditional methods. I've created a new section for this discipline under the main index of my grimoire, and you can find more information there. There's one more thing unknown I can figure out through some stuff in ritual. I think I'm starting to get the hang of ritual magic. It's like cooking a recipe. First, you assemble your ingredients. Then you stage everything in the right place. And then you follow each step exactly as written at the appointed time. There's just a slightly higher chance of something exploding if you do it wrong. I need several things in order to conduct a ritual. First and most important is the central altar. This serves as the focal point of the ritual around which everything else is arrayed, both physically and metaphysically. Next come the offering pedestals, arrayed around the altar. It's on these that I place the ingredients for the ritual. Having more pedestals than I need doesn't hurt, but they might get a little in the way. Thirdly, all rituals require props of some kind, placed near the altar. I'll come back to these in a bit. Finally, I need refined salt, and lots of it. Every block that's part of the ritual, be it a prop or an offering pedestal, must be connected to the central altar by an unbroken line of salt. No salt, no mystical connection, bad times. To start a ritual, I must first identify what ingredients and props it needs. These will be listed in the grimoire entry for each ritual. Once identified, I array the pedestals and props around the altar, ensuring a salt connection. Symmetry is important in this placement and will contribute to a successful ritual. I then place each of the ingredients on a separate pedestal, and once I'm ready to begin, wave my wand at the central altar. Once started, an orb of energy will appear above the altar. This orb is a sort of status indicator for the ritual stability. Right, stability. Ritual magic is dangerous, and rituals destabilize the longer they go on. Too much instability buildup, and mishaps can happen. That's bad. Potentially disastrous. The more red that orb over the altar is, the more unstable the ritual has become. On the other hand, if it turns green, that means I'm doing a good job keeping the instability in check. All rituals will destabilize over time proportionally to their instability rating, but other things can affect it as well. The symmetry that I mentioned earlier? Asymmetrical ritual setups will destabilize faster. Using too much salt will also cause destabilization as it grounds out the magic. I'm gonna need a bottle of water after this. Anyway, as the ritual progresses, the central altar will absorb the offerings I place on the pedestals. At certain points, though, the ritual will pause and demand that I interact with one of your ritual's props. This is the most dangerous time in a ritual, as instability will be mounting, though no progress is being made. Once the prop interaction is complete, the ritual will resume progress with an added burst of stability. Precisely how I need to interact with the prop will be detailed in its grimoire entry. Once all the offerings have been absorbed and all the props have been interacted with, the ritual will end and the end result will appear on the central altar for me to claim. Should I feel at any point that a ritual is spiraling beyond my control, I can abort the ritual by waving my wand at the altar a second time. This may have consequences depending on the built-up instability, but that's better than letting it continue indefinitely. Alright. It's raining. Let's go ahead and get back to base, because I have no clue how much longer until the sun sets. And also, I need that bottle of water. Alright. Not perfect, but better. Dowsing Rod. Rituals are complicated, and laying out my altar space correctly seems very important to success, according to my grimoire. Doing this by eye in the seat of my pants strikes me as a path to disaster. I need a tool that will give me feedback on the quality of my altar layout before I attempt a ritual. Yeah, I'll go ahead and grab this one. Well, it's simple, but I think it will do the job. Waving this dowsing rod at a ritual altar will give me a rough idea of how stable my current ritual layout is. In addition, waving it at an offering pedestal will give me feedback on its placement. I mustn't forget, however, that a complex ritual can quickly overwhelm even a very good layout if I'm not quick and efficient in the stepping through the processes. Okay, say one unread. Oh, because I haven't finished this. Okay. That's slightly confusing, but it's alright. I'm going to need special props in order to conduct my rituals. According to my grimoire, incense is commonly used. According to my grimoire, ritual candles are a classic. I should figure out what makes them special compared to ordinary candles. And then yeah, I've got to do a little bit more in the ritual magic to get that. I'm thinking I've got to get in the mana fruit, which simply requires ritual candles, which, again, more observations. But before I worry too much about that, I've got some objectives that I should work on performing. Come on. There we go. Let's see. Thinking up next, how many ender pearls do I need for at least the start out of the top simple storage? I know I need a diamond. Here it is, inventory connector, 1 ender pearl. However, I also know that's not all I need. Also need the crafting terminal. Okay. So I've got just about everything I need. I'm realizing I could have just done this. Alright. So yeah, first off, inventory connector. 2 chests, ender pearl, 4 planks, redstone comparator. I'm going to need to head to the nether first, because I am out of boards. That's alright. That can be a task for next episode. Maybe even a little bit after. But that can be a later task. For now, we shall go ahead and do that ore basement, which I am definitely going to need another shovel. Yeah, I've lost mine or 2 years ago that I've been catching my first spells lately. We just finished going over what all that means. Or at least a simplified version. I didn't talk about specifically but I did end up talking about that as editing tries in one of the episodes. Alright, there we go. The basement is carved out. So yeah, let me go ahead and put all of this in here. And then I'm going to go grab those ore blocks from the chest. And start placing some of them out. Not all, but some. Because I came up with a little bit of a plan for how I'm going to have these distributed. So we've got 4 primary walls, of course. I'm thinking this is the copper wall. Then we have, right over here will be the iron wall. Then we can have a lapis corner, a wall for gold, and a wall for diamonds. The other 2 corners, currently I'm thinking we do one for redstone, and then another one for nether quartz. Yeah, let's also go ahead and take this torch. Yeah, let's go ahead and set up a lantern in here, now that it's complete. I'm thinking I might end up using the center of it for ritual magic. I'm not sure. If I don't, it's good. Oh, right, I've got coal. Oh, and here's some redstone. Alright, yeah, I'll figure out the coal and stuff, but... Honestly, I might even just not worry about coal that much. Yeah, there's some redstone for the redstone corner. And now when I need those ores, I can just head down and pick them up. So let's also go ahead and... Yeah, I'm solid on mana. Let's go ahead and pick up some iron. Quick look at the to-do list. There's not too much longer in this video. The first timer went off while I was carving out, so I decided to set a 20-minute one. So yeah, ore basement complete. Yeah, let's go ahead and place down the forester for mine colonies. Which I know mine colonies have taken up half this list, but I mean that's pretty much just... That's the only part that's actually in any kind of order, is in the order that I think I want to place these down. Because yeah, Forester's Hut, already got this. I'm thinking, let's see, I've had the trees over here. I'm thinking I might want to place it, let's see, if I go, no, it's craftsmanship. Carpentry? No. Might just be fundamentals. Yeah, Forester's Hut. See, alt lumberjack first. Alright, I could work with that. Alternatively, just standard lumberjack. Yeah, I think I might go with this one. And it lends itself pretty well to the fact that the terrain's not really even here. Alright. And just build options, build building. And yeah, if we head over here, you can see we've got the tavern, bunch of people hanging out, including some visitors to the colony, who, if I click on, say, this one, yeah, 16 nether quartz, they'll join the colony. And I haven't really looked too much at stats, but if I understand it correctly, these stats are supposed to be pretty solid. Forester's hut. Placed, they're working on it. Courier. Let's see. You know, now that I've got iron down there, yeah, I think I'm gonna refill, pick up some more iron. Then I'll cook some, make some iron boots, and then I'll have 2 couriers' huts. I don't really need 2 right now, but just having a second one's not a bad idea for later. Because when you got a lot of things that need to be moved around all at once, you're gonna wear out your first guy. Oh, yep, that tree's just barely in the way. I'll just chop it down so you don't have to worry about shearing off all those leaves. So also, I believe I can... Yeah, there's not too much a forester's hut needs. Once that's all done, the forester's hut will be complete. Or at least it'll have everything it needs to be complete, and I can start working on the couriers. And the courier's not very good without a warehouse, so we'll be working on that warehouse. Then we'll make the mine, and the colony will be able to produce, at least in terms of raw resources, the bulk of what it needs to survive, or to grow. It'll still need a bunch of crafting done, and I'm going to have to be the one to do it, but still. They'll be producing their own logs, their own cobblestone. They might produce some ores. Let's see. That is the saddest mangrove tree I have ever seen in my life. That's not even disappointing, it's just sad. I was thinking about... Alright, yeah. I'm thinking, don't have very much longer, I'll save that for next episode. Yeah, I'm thinking we go with this one because it goes a bit more with the more open design we've got. Oh, there's that alarm. So yeah, we'll place this, queue it up, and we will save the others for next episode. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here. I hope everyone has enjoyed. If so, find a way to let me know. If not, again, find a way to let me know. That way we can do better. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!